Yeah, welcome back to my class again today. Today we want to look at multi-threading. Now, in the last class, I taught you the task that a thread can perform. The previous class we did threading, right? How to create a thread. And now in the last class, I showed you the task that a thread can perform. So in this class, I want to show you multiple thread that can perform task concurrently, right? That is what I want to show you in this class. So without wasting much time, let's go right in. Now, I am also going to import the threading module like I did in the last class. So the first thing I will do here is import threading, right? So this is the threading module that I'm importing. In multi-threading, you have to the first thing that will happen in this class is that I will show you the main thread. And the moment I create the sub-thread using the main thread, then you will see it. This is like saying a head of department that is working with the management is given a task, right? This head of department will now come to his own department and then distribute this task among his own team members. So probably he has just two team members. He will distribute the task to these two team members. Then he will wait for them to execute the task and return back to him. And then he will go to the management and present the task that was given to him by the management that has actually been done by the two members of his own team, right? That is the same thing we are going to do here. So there is the main thread, which is the head of the department that was given a task to perform. Then this head of department will now come to his own team members and give this task to them. When they execute, they will return back to him and give the report, and he will now return back to what? To management and give the report. So that is the demonstration that we want to do using multi-threading. Okay, so I want to be able to show that it is the head of department that will execute the task first. Now I'm going to create the task, which is what? Using the task is simply a function. So def, then I'll call my var to calculate, right? So this is my var, and this var is expecting A, B, C, D. So is a function. Now inside this function, I want to print out who is performing the task. So I will say print I want to call the current thread inside this threading module. So threading dot current underscore thread. Yeah. So this is a method. This is a method that is inside this threading module. So I'm calling that method to show me the current thread as at that moment that is going to perform this task. All right. So what is my task that I want to perform? I will come here because I'm going to create two threads. The first thread will perform the task. The second thread will encounter an error, and then it will report that error back to the main thread, right? So I am going to put this my task inside the try block. That is what I will do. So I'll put inside the try block so that the first one, if there is no error, will perform. But the second one will capture the error and return it back to the main thread. So print threading.current thread. Now here I will say try, right? Now inside this try, I will perform my task. I will say result. I'm declaring a variable that will hold the value that will be returned. Result A divided by B multiplied by C plus D. This is my viral mathematics that we've been doing before. So this is it. Then I will now say print this is a string. So I'm printing out a string literal. Result is comma result, right? All right, so this is my task. Now, if there's an error, so it will do except, right? Zero division error. So that is the error I want it to capture. It's going to capture a zero division error. Except zero division error, print cannot divide by 0. Right? I want you to print this out. So this is my task. This is my task. This is my task that I've created on the board. So the next thing I want to do now is to create the thread, two threads that will perform this task. That is what I want to create now. So I will come here and I will say, so I will call the first thread T1. I will call it T1. Then I'm going to call the thread class. So I'm going to call the constructor of the thread class that is inside this threading module. So I will say threading dot thread. You saw it in my last class. So this is the thread class and this is the threading module. So I'm calling the constructor that we use to create the thread. Now, target. This time around, I'm using a target argument, unlike the way I created a thread in my last class. This time, I am saying that the thread that I want to create, what is it expected to do? That thread is expected to carry out this action. So the target task is what? Viral math. So that is what I will supply here. Viral math, right? And then what will be the argument that will be given to this function? So I will come here and I will say ax, and I will supply 8, 2, 2, 2. So this for this is for this. Now, this is my thread. I've created a thread. But this thread that I've created now, I didn't give it a thread name. So the system is going to use a default name, which is what? Thread 1. The system will create thread 1. This is what the system will use. That will be the name. In the next class, I'm going to teach you how to change this name if you don't want it. How to create your own name. So I'll teach you that in the next class. So here now, I have created my thread, and the reference to my thread is T1. So that is the first thread. Now I'm going to create the second thread, which is what? T2. I will repeat the same line. Threading dot thread, then target will still be the viral math. Then argument, which is ask, I will supply 8, 0, 2, 2. Okay, so I've created my second thread, right? And this time around, I'm also supplying this argument. So this first thread, so this thread, the name of it will now be what? This same thing, but thread 2. That is what the system will create. So I've created two threads, thread 1 and thread 2. And I will see it when I print out this, right? So I've created my two threads. Now I am going to start the thread. So I will use this object, which is what? T1 dot start. So I'm calling the start method. This start method is inside this thread class. I taught you that in my previous class when I spoke about calling the ancestor. So T1 dot start and then T2 dot start. Right? So I have started my thread. Now, the main thread is starting thread 1 and is also starting thread 2. But I want the main thread to wait for these two threads to perform this task and return to it before it will return back to management to give them the final output, right? So how would the main thread wait for these two tasks to finish? So I'm going to say T1 dot join. I'm calling the join method T2 dot join. I'm calling the join method. All right. So by doing this, by calling this join method, thread 1 and thread 2 will have to perform their task before the main thread will exit this task. Now, I don't think you are still seeing again. So what I will do is I will come here. I will come here. Now, what should be down under this place, under this thread 2, is what I want to write here. So don't get confused. So here I will say print, right? Print exit main thread, right? Exit main thread. Now, I have created my two thread, and then I am asking the thread to perform the task. So the moment it gets to this place, T1 does start. This start will activate the run method that is inside this thread class. It will activate that run method. Now, that run method, looking at this, which target is it supposed to perform? What task is it supposed to perform? So it will come here and it will see that the target is what? Viral mat. So it will look for the viral mat, which is what? This function. Then it will go in. It will supply this argument. A to be given to A, 2 will be given to B, this other 2 will be given to C, and then the third one will be given to D. Then it will come in. Since it is the first thread, which is what? Thread 1, and is concurrent. So since it is the first thread, once it gets to this place, it will print out that thread name. So it will print out thread 1. Then it will go in. It will carry out this arithmetic. Everything is fine. There is no error. Then it will print out the result is what? 16.0. That is what it will print out. This second thread, which is what? Thread 2, also has started at the same time. So this one will come, supplying these parameters to this. Then when it goes in, it will carry out this arithmetic. This calculation will throw you an error. So it will come here and it will catch it, zero division error. Once it catches that error, it will print out cannot divide by 0. Now, the moment both threads have finished their task and have returned it back to the main thread will now print exit main thread. It is the main thread that printed this one, not these two threads. It's the main thread that printed this. Right? Now, if I also want you to see the one that will print this out, it means I'm going to do something here. Instead of that, let me come here and say print this threading dot current underscore thread method. Now, print this. So when I say should print this, then I will now say print exiting main thread. Now, this one, what it will do, so let me close this for you to see. Now, this one will print out the name of the thread, and the name of that thread is the main thread. Then it will not exit that main thread. So this will not print until these two threads, which is what T1 and T2 that we've created, until they carry out this task. Then it will now print out the main thread. Then it will print out exiting main thread. So this is the concept of what? Multi-threading, where the threads are running concurrently, right? So let's go to the PyCharm. Let me demonstrate this for you so that you will see the output. So if you have come with me this far, don't forget to subscribe if you have not. And if you like this video, please click on the like button. So let's go to the PyCharm. Okay, so this is our multi-threading class. What I just did, I want to demonstrate on the board. I told you I have written the script. Now this is the script. As you can see, this is the task, which is the function, the task that the thread is going to perform. Now here I am creating my two threads, thread 1 and thread 2. But this is not the name, this is the reference to the thread. So the name of the thread, since I didn't create name, will be automatically assigned by the program. And that will be what? Thread 1 and thread 2. So I am starting the thread here. Before starting the thread, it's going to print out, the main thread will print out starting thread on the screen. Then it will call the start method, which will now call the run method, and then it will run. So both threads will execute. The first one will execute and give you and print out result is what? 16.0. The second one will execute and give you an error. Then print out cannot divide by 0. That's what will happen. Then the main thread will wait for both threads to finish their task before it will print out exiting main thread. Right? So let me execute this script for you to see. So you can see it will print out. The main thread is the one that printed out starting thread after it has created the two thread. So the main thread will print out starting thread. Then the main thread will now start the two thread. Then it will give control to them. They will now carry out their task, which is what? Thread 1 printed out 16.0. Thread 2 had encountered an error and then printed out cannot divide by 0. Then it will return to what? To the main thread. So the main thread will now print out exiting main thread. So that is what I want to show you in this class. If you like this class, please click on the like button. And you can also help to share the video. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so to encourage me. So till we see in the next class, bye-bye.